You can see how thin it is. I mean, we're planting grass right now, so we've got baby grass growing, and you guys can see just how thin it is, and that is because we did use a dethatcher on it. We did thin it out before the planting process, but you can see how thin it was. And if you go back and look at May, June videos that I posted, even, you know, before that, man, the yard was looking absolutely phenomenal. And then July came and just really wrecked it. And you can see all the thinning there. What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here again. Thanks so much for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. I'm excited about this one today, but I do want to say to all my subscribers out there that have been watching the channel pretty faithfully, you guys have heard today's video over and over and over again on the channel. We're going to talk about why this summer your lawn has just went, it was looking good and then it just went away. There's 5 reasons why your lawn could have just checked out, just gone, melted away, looked so good, and then just over time it just boom, went away. We're going to discuss it. Many of my subscribers here have heard the many different things that it could be over time on this channel, but I want to make this video because clearly, you know, when something goes wrong in our lawn, where do we typically go in the 21st century? We go to YouTube and we type in, hey, why is my lawn looking like crap? What did I do? Did I put something down? What am I missing? It's exactly what I did 2 years ago, and I figured it out through prayer, to be honest, dead serious, through prayer and through listening to YouTube pros. God showed me this is what's wrong, and I was like, holy crap, this is what it is. We're going to talk about that as well as 4 other things of why your lawn looks like crap now. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. Why does my lawn look like crap? We're going to get into it in just a second. If you're not subscribed, we'd love to have you around the channel. We vlog/blog what I'm doing here in my lawn, the good, the bad, the ugly. If you're working on your lawn, you want to say, hey, what's Mr. Ferguson doing? Hey, what's this guy doing? Does that work? What's the best tips? We try to show everything that we do here in my lawn, the good, bad, the ugly, and share it with you for DIYers. I'm a DIYer just like you guys. I've never worked in lawn care. Can't say that I never plan to. Maybe this thing will take off one day, but I'm a DIYer and I'm just documenting what I'm doing here and showing you guys here at home, which is exactly why I'm able to talk about what we're going to talk about today. 2 years ago, my lawn was looking awesome. I planted my first lawn full of GCI turf type tall fescue. It was looking amazing. It was looking awesome. And then come June, it slowly began, there began to be a spot, and I'm like, huh, we went on vacation and there was some spots in my yard. I'm like, well, maybe it'll work itself out. Maybe it's just some weird fungus or overgrowth or something. Came back from the beach, the spots had gotten bigger. And I'm gonna be showing pictures while I'm talking here, so it's not just me talking. I wanna show you the things that we've documented in the past in the channel and not make you go all the way back and watch all these videos. But it began to spread, and some of the videos you may be, or pictures you may be seeing now, is what it ended up looking like when I was going to overseed that coming fall. My grass thinned out, it melted away, and I even was just talking to my neighbor behind me a couple days ago. He said, I thought you were killing it off again. I said, no, it was like, it just melted, my lawn just went and just went away, and I was scared to death. I didn't know what happened. Children were like, why is your dad killing your lawn off in the backyard? I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, please help me. And so he did. And we're going to talk about, without further ado, 5 reasons why, if your lawn is looking like crap and it's summer right now, what could those 5 things be? So number 1, let's go with the easiest one, and it's water. If you are not getting the proper water from the rain, from the sky, then we have to throw out sprinklers. Many of us don't have irrigation. We don't have pipes ran in our yard where we can just turn on the faucet, and we have sprinklers pop up and water our lawn. We have to drag sprinklers around the lawn. That is what I'm currently doing. I'm also on city water if you're unfamiliar with the channel. And so I don't have a well. I can't just water whenever I want endlessly. And so because we're stingy with not wanting to run up our water bill, water could be a reason why your grass will check out. The 90-degree heat, the really high temperatures, and lack of water can cause your grass to check out. Number 2, grubs. Believe it or not, the cycle of grubs, we've talked about it here on the channel several times, but grubs are these little white worms, especially white grubs that are in our dirt. In the summertime, June bugs lay eggs in our lawn, especially nice lawns if you're the one that has a nice lawn in your area. So June bugs lay eggs in the summertime, and come fall, these little eggs become larvae, and these larvae like to eat on roots. My first year with the lawn, I experienced this because I had really good grass growing, and all of a sudden I would have little circles where grass would not grow. And it's because the grubs like to come up to the surface of our dirt and eat the grass. Over here, there is some, I'm curious about this section over here because there's areas on the berm here that was growing, and now it seems to be slowing down. And I don't know why that is. There's still grass there, but it's just not taking off like the areas around it. As you see, look at these little patches. I'm curious to know what the little patches are about, because I'm not sure unless it's ants or some kind of insect trying to mess with it. But we still got exactly what was happening right behind me over here in this section. And I quickly learned in my very first year of this lawn care thing as a DIYer that grubs are a real problem. We need to lay down insecticide in the fall to kill grubs. In the preventative in the summertime or in the springtime, we want to do preventative to prevent it, but we also have curative options out there. We're not going to get into all the grub treatments. We'll do it on the channel coming up in the season with this new lawn we're about to plant. But grubs can actually be a problem, and even up north, depending on where you live, this cycle may be different in different time frames or seasonal times. So grubs can be a problem that can eat away at your roots, and if it goes completely unchecked, grubs can destroy sections of your lawn. Number 3, fungus. Mr. Fungus likes to creep in our grass. If you have a turf type tall fescue yard, if you have a fescue lawn, you are going to have to battle fungus. No point in trying to fight it. Now I've heard from some people that say, I didn't do anything with fungicide this year at all, my yard looks great. And if that's you, great. But many times, especially here in North Carolina where it gets muggy, it gets hot, it gets humid, can you prevent rain at night? No, but the moisture, the humidity, the warm ground temperatures promotes fungus in our lawn, and little spores that are flying around when your neighbors are cutting their grass and blowing things in your lawn, fungus is going to come about. And so fungus is one way that your lawn this summer could have been destroyed. Maybe that fungus popped up and you didn't pay close attention until it was too late, and now grass is dying off all over, whether it's brown patch, rust, many different types of fungus that is out there. Fungus can completely wipe out your lawn if it goes unchecked. This is why we talk about propiconazole on our channel. This is why we talk about the bulletproof strategy, which has been put out by the Lawn Care Nut, using oxystrobin, using propiconazole, using these different types of fungicides to combat and fight against gray leaf spot and different types for a cool season lawn. There's many different fungicides out there. There's many different fungus types out there. There's a broad spectrum that's a whole nother subject we're not going to dive into in depth, but fungus could be a reason that your lawn completely got melted. Number 4, shade. I've learned this kind of the hard way. When we're planting in the fall, leaves are falling from the ground. And so when the leaves are falling from the ground, the sunlight is able to pierce through the trees and get most of your lawn is sunlight. And so while we're planting, what I've noticed here in my lawn is that during the fall, during the winter, and the spring, my yard is pretty full, but come summer, it starts thinning out, especially in my backyard. And I couldn't put it together until this year. It dawned on me. These trees that you see behind me are now fully covered in leaves. And so it's blocking the sunlight that's been able to get through in the fall, the winter, and the early spring. In the late spring into the summer, well, now they're covered in leaves and the sun is blocking these back areas of my backyard. Therefore, the grass, the GCI turf type tall fescue I have, and the cool blue that I planted last year is unable to get the sunlight that it needs, and it begins to thin away and die off. And so this year, what I'm having to do is look at the areas of my lawn during these type of months of where I need to plant a shade mix, a different type of fescue to fill in, even right here to my right under my window, where I have an area where during the fall and winter it doesn't get a lot of sun here. As the sun, as we rotate on the earth, This area don't get a lot of sun. I plan to throw some down here. So consider shade in your yard. But again, you don't want to make this calculation in the winter or in the spring. You need to do it now when the leaves are on the tree. Where do you see shade in your yard? Take pictures, take notes. So you may need to throw down, in addition to where you oversee, throwing down a shade mix in the shady areas. And last but 100% not least, the one that I like talking about the most here on this channel, number 5, potassium/potash. This is the big killer. I get to hear from a lot of people in the comments. Now, this may not apply to everybody, but in my last 2 years of doing soil tests in my lawn, I have never, at this point in going into now year 3 with trying to create a premium cool season lawn, I have yet to get above the minimum line on my soil test in the potassium category. Potassium is our stress reliever. It is what helps the grass to survive under stressful conditions, i.e. summer. So when that sun is blazing and it's just beating down on us here in our lawn, if you have a deficiency in potassium, that is how my lawn 2 years ago just completely melted away. I'm telling this to you because many people say, Mr. Ferguson, I literally got a text today, and this was going to be my video Friday, but it just worked out that I got a text from a friend today. Mr. Ferguson, I've been watching your videos all day, man. Like, my lawn is just checked out. It's just like grass is dying. I can't figure it out what's going on. And likely it's a potassium deficiency. It sounds like all throughout the country, many of us trying to have a nice looking lawn and do it in a DIY type format, we are low on potassium. Even though the lawn, this is one of my criticisms to Alan Haynes' lawn care plan. Maybe he'll watch this video, but I've done the lawn care plan step by step for 2 years, and yet I've not reached that minimum threshold of potassium in my lawn. Even applying 7-0-20, which we've done on this channel, even buying 2 bags and applying twice 0-0-48 here on this channel, even having Green Fight, which is like 0-0-31 liquid, we applied that. Even buying sulfur and potassium Sunnyland mix, we've applied that. I threw so much potassium in my lawn this year, and it 110,000% made a difference from the previous year. I have green grass this year in the summer where it was all falling apart in 2019. So I want to let you know, potassium is a huge number 5. So to wrap it up, I hope these 5 things will help newbies, people that are going into it year 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I never considered that. Go out, walk your lawn, look, see if you have shaded areas. See if there's areas where you're like, you know what, my water is not hitting these areas. I'm slacking on my water, and I know that. I need to buy a more heat tolerant seed. There's many different things of why our lawn can completely melt away, but I know 100% for me, I had a huge potassium deficiency in my lawn last year. We worked so hard from pretty much from April and May and June to throw potassium at this lawn, and it made 100% a difference in my lawn that I have a yard this year because of all the potassium I pumped. And I got comments in my channel here of, Mr. Ferguson, you're going a little too heavy. But from everything that I read, every 2 to 3 weeks, you can give it a shot of potassium, you're fine. 2 to 3 weeks, give it another shot of potassium, and over the years, we'll develop a more high potassium buildup in my lawn and in my soil. So I hope these 5 things will help someone out there so that this coming fall, remember, continue with pumping potassium throughout the fall. Plant the shade seed where you have, or areas and where you may have thinned out this year. Have a water budget. Have that money set aside so you can water properly. Remember to put down insecticide. Kill the grubs when you have areas that are not growing, and other areas of grass all around it are growing and having to be cut, but one area is staying still, it seems. Likely it's grubs, but you want to dig, see if grubs are present in your dirt, apply insecticide. And as always, we want to be preventive on fungus. Put down preventatives. You can prevent fungus before it starts, and remember, it lasts typically 28 days. Go back in the channel. There's topics on all of these somewhere in my channel, so be sure and check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you on Monday with another video. Now go make your lawn look awesome. God bless.